go to the version 2 of the Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain for a minute. Let's look at the verse. This is a little different approach, maybe. We're going to make it maybe a little more interesting, and we're going in the right direction here. We want to use the A and the F lever. We want to use 5/7. We want to use the D lever. In other words, let's take everything we know and let's put it all into one thing, okay? So here's what we have. We're going to start on 3A and F, the top line, 7A and B, old home week, isn't it? 12, down to 7A and B. Now, the 5/7, 5A, 2A and B. Now let's use the D lever because it's close to 7A and B. Now the third line, 3A and F, 7A and B, 12, 7A and B, 10A and F, 14A and B. Now, 12 with no pedals for the 1, and then 10A to say a 1/7. We want to announce to the world and to the band that the 4 chord is coming. We haven't done that up to now. We just played the chords and sort of followed the band. Now we're going to lead the band. So we're going to play one measure of the 1 on 12, and then the very next measure was 10A. And you can hear it's begging to go to a 4 chord or an A. Now here's a neat little trick. Let's not written there, but let's just talk about it. When you're playing the one chord that's on 12, it's going to 10A, but use a little passing tone. On 12, hit 12 first for 2 beats, hit the D lever. It's lowering the 8th string, isn't it? And then back to 10A. You can hear the 8th string going. Oh, it's a great little stepper. You're keeping the same note on the top. Little counterpoint harmony going there, maybe. So you got plenty of time. 2 beats on each one. 12 for 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great little feel going into the chorus. Now, the next page, the 4 chord, 8A and F. If we're going that way, 12A and B, all the way up to 17. And then down to 12A and B. All of those were 4s. The second line of the chorus, 12. Back to 5A for a 5/7. And then to 2A and B. Oh my goodness, there's a neat little trick there too. 5A. And just let the A pedal, let it off, because it's going toward 2A and B. Learn that little phrase right there. There's a little, like a mechanical reflex you want to get used to. 5A. It'll come out sounding a little bit like a fill, won't it? But it's very simple. Or go half a pedal, all the way off. So there's your nice little fill in the 5 chord. Half a pedal, off. You'll hear it when we get it in the tune. And then the third line, 3A and F, 7A and B. Just don't forget, this is a pedal steel guitar. Squeeze those notes. 12, down to 7A and B. Good vibrato too. Last line, 10A and F, 14A and B, 15A and F, down to 12. So in this version, we're going to be all over the fretboard. We're going to be playing from 3 all the way to 17. We're going to be using the A and the F levers. We're going to be using the D lever. We're going to use the 7ths in all the right spots. It's more the way a pro would think it, and we're just one step away from playing it exactly like a pro might think it. Whatever he would play, these would be the steps in his mind that he's going through. He would just add little passing tones between some of these, but basically it's still going to be just the same thing. Here we go. Let's play it along with Bob.
1, 2, 3.
Wait for the band. Here we go. Start.
As we kissed goodbye.
5.
Now my hair has turned to silver. All my life I've loved in vain.
Third line.
Through the ages I'll remember.
Last line.
Blue eyes crying in the rain.
Surprise.
Someday when we meet up yonder,
Second line.
we'll stroll hand in hand again.
Third line.
In a land that knows no parting.
Last line.
Blue eyes quiet in the rain.
Now that might take some doing, but think what you're doing. Figure out why I played a 7th there and the way I played it, and learn to play. You can add 1 or 2 notes there. When Bob's not there singing, hit the chord twice. You'll have a fill. The plot's going to thicken here. Go to your next page in the book, which says the play plan for the key of E. It's going to have more B7s on it. We don't just use the A and the F lever to make major chords. It has a lot of uses, and that's why it's such an important pedal, the F lever, because looking at the bottom line, the B chords, obviously we've played the B on 2A and B, looking left to right, and 5A, and then 7. And if we drop back to 5A, that's where we had the B7. We have other B7s, and they look strange, and we need to understand them. That's why we're talking about it. 7 with no pedals is a straight 5 chord in it. The no pedal, or the root, the initial position we learned years ago. So we know we can drop back 2 with the A pedal to 5A. Sounds like a great B7th. You're already hearing how they really make the song sound better. Well, there's another way to make B7th, several ways. We can think up 3, the A and the F spot isn't 10A and F. That's a B7th as well, isn't it? Well, if we lift the A pedal off, we're left with just the F lever there. And it makes a beautiful B7th or a B9th chord. So we have more choices. We don't just have 5A anymore. 10F also makes it. Remember where it is. It's 3 frets up. It's in the same exact spot as the A and the F major chord. But you can let the A pedal on, and now it becomes B7th, or a 5/7 in this case. Yet there's another one there. You've already noticed. If you go from 7 up 1 fret, the trick is the pattern. You can go up 1 fret to 8A and F. Now, this fools a lot of people. They think, wait a minute, 8A and F, if I understand everything we've done correctly up to now, isn't 8A and F 3 above 5 with no pedal? Isn't that an A? Exactly right, it sure is. But an A chord sounds like, when it's played against a B, it sounds like a B9th chord. So we can perfectly well do it if we can go back from 7 to 5A. If I was playing strings 4 and 6, that would still not sound like B7th. Well, those 2 notes, 5A and 8A and F, sound the same. So it does work. Doesn't matter why it works. Here's all we care about. We're thinking the 5 chord. It's on 7 with no pedals. The first pearl we ever got. We've got 3 wonderful ways to make a 5/7 and not have to play that one. We can drop back 2 with the A pedal. We can go up 3 and hit the F lever. We can go up 1 and make a beautiful B7th or a 5/7. And even that's not a bad little move right there, playing B with no pedal. Add the A pedal. Now 8 A and F. And it adds extreme tension. Now, you're not being able to hear the bass lines or the rhythm track against this, so it sounds a little strange. But what we're going to play here in a minute is play along with Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, and we're going to do it the way we ought to be thinking it. We're going to use 5A several times, 8A and F several times for the 5/7, maybe 8F or 10F for the B7. In other words, what we've got is sparkling variety here. And this is not just chords. Let's remember where we're going here. We're trying to learn how to play this guitar, play melodies, play phrases. And all melodies and all phrases stem from facts like these that lead us through the chord progression. We can't ignore it. We must play with the band. They're setting the pace and the stage. So we're just going to use these ideas to build some great licks, and that's what's coming here shortly. Go to version number 3 there in your book for Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, and let's talk about this page. There's a lot going on here, and it's not just chords anymore. We're going to play some nice little phrases, and we're building on fill ideas and melody ideas. Looking at the verse there, starting on the 1 chord, 7A and B. We'll play strings 5 and 8 again for the purposes of explanation right now. Up to 12, all just E's, isn't it? Back down to 7A and B. And let's use the D lever position. Instead of 3A and F, 5D, because it's slow, close. Because in the next line, we're going to go straight to a 5/7. 5 with the A pedal, that's the 2 below spot 7. Here comes that new B7th, or the B9th. 1 fret up. That's why I'm playing the 8A and F. It looks like A, but it sounds like B7. So we're going to hear a 5A, then 8A and F. All of those, both of those are ignoring the idea that we have to play 7 as a 5 chord. We're playing all around it. And then back to a 1 chord on 7A and B. Up to 12. Third line now, all just E's, 7A and B. Down to 3A and F. Now if you want to go to 5D there, that's fine, but you need to work on your A and F moves. Back up to 7A and B. Up to 12. Now here comes the last line. Interesting line here. Back, instead of B being 10A and F, I'm letting the A pedal out. I'm just hitting the F lever. So it's going to go a 5/7 as 10F. And then we're going to play that 8A and F spot, which we just played in the other line. You'll hear the top line stay the same, but the bottom line will go. Beautiful sound in behind the singer. And then here comes a real tricky one. Get ready. We're going to split measure here. We're going 1/7 because we know the chorus is coming. We're going to build chords, but it's going to come out sounding like a lick or a fill, starting with 7A and B because it's a 1. And only 2 beats, like 1, 2, slide to 10A. 2 beats on each one because that's a 1/7. That's 2 frets to the left of 12. So 10A is an E7, and then pick it again. I wonder how that 13A and F got there. Looks like a D chord to me, but it isn't, because if I think the 1 chord or E is 12 with no pedal, and I go up 1 fret and hit the A and F, it becomes E7. Not quite so easy to hear right now because you don't hear the bass lines or the band, but it's true, it's going to sound like this. So listen to that last 2 measures, 1/7. It's screaming to everybody in the room that a 4 chord is coming, and that's our job, is to do that. It's a signpost. So here's the last 2 ones. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the resolve on the next page on the 4 chord. So here's that last line, sort of in time, the 55-11 at the bottom of the verse. It goes the F lever, 10F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're not any good at that, that's kind of quick. And if you don't have it in your mind how the phrase is and how it's timed, you're not going to get there on time. So take some time before you play along with the rhythm track to count these. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, and kind of get the action, the move, and the mechanics out of the way, because there are some mechanics there. You're going to have to get moving. Okay, now, with that out of the way, let's do the chorus. 12A and B, 4 beats, down to 8A and F, a 4 chord, down to 5, down to 8A and F, so all of those are 4, back to a 1, and 5 with the D lever for the 1. Ooh, here comes one of those neat little tricky things again. 5A is a 5/7, but only 2 beats. It's a split measure. I'm going to move from 5A to 7A. And it's going to sound like a 5/7 to a 5/6. Odd that we'd play that, but it works. It's part of a scale, and it's part of a lick we played many, many times. Up to 8A and F, because that's a 5/7, to 10A and F. An interesting thing about this, the phrase goes, and then it's going to go to 12 on the next line. 10A and F that we just left, the 5/7, the end of the second line there. We know that we have a 5/7 there without the A pedal. So when I get there, I could actually hit the 10A and F and let the A pedal off, and it'd be very pedal steel guitar, wouldn't it? Nice sound. So the phrase might be this then, and you'll have to rehearse it, work at it. And then get on to 12, which is the 1 chord. So we're back to the 1, and 7A and B, and 3A and F, or 5D, back to 7A and B. Here comes the 5/7, and resolve it to a 5. There again, you can let that pedal off. Get used to doing that. It's always available, isn't it? 10A and F has a major and the 7th. And an interesting thing here, a 1 chord, 2 beats on the 1, back to 10A and F. Isn't that a 5 chord? Truly is. We're going to play a 5 chord against the band playing the 1. It's a beautiful sound. So in time, watch the chord chart, count along with me, and listen to how this is going to sound so we can hear it a little clearer, and then we'll do it along with the rhythm track. Here we go, like 1, 2, this is the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, third line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get where you can play that and count if you have to. Get the sound in your head. There's a lot of physical movements here, and don't just play it because it's written. Make sure you understand every number there. Why would we play a 5A? Why would we play an 8A and F? Why might we play 10A and F and then resolve it to the A? If you play it just because it's written, there again, you're just being a jukebox. We put a quarter in, and it plays, but we don't. It's not a real live music instrument that way. Here we go. Let's play along with the rhythm track.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here we go, and we start.
In the twilight glow I see her, blue eyes crying in the rain. As we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember. Only memories remain. Through the ages, I'll remember. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Now my hair has turned to silver. All my life I've loved in vain, and through the ages I'll remember. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday when we meet up yonder, we'll stroll hand in hand again in a land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in the rain.
Boy, isn't that neat to be able to play behind the singer and not work any harder than that. And notice that we put the little split measures always at the end of the lines where the fills are going to be. You can see how it's starting to build. Every little note in the scale, every little fill that we play will have a relationship to a chord. And it's beautiful. It's perfectly explainable and logical, and you can think of it yourself. Give this a try. Go to the next page in your book there that has the basic exercise number 1. We're building fills here using some of the ideas we've talked about here. These are fills, literally, that we can put in any song, but they're really great little exercises to teach us how to get the movement going on the A and the F lever and the D lever. And we need some automatic reflexes, and that's more or less what they are. But these are fine little fills, too. Fill number 1 sounds like this. Little slide there. Learn to move that and get the same move every time. Got to be fast. Back to 7A. Let it off. Use both pedals. Back to 5A. Back to 3A and F. Notice the 7A and the 5A are kind of quick. Now this is quite physical. That's the reason for practicing this thing. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. Could even slide that back there since that's that fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Better to slide it all the way back there. Could be a little fill in Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. It could be a fill in 90% of the songs you play. There again, if we can play it on strings 5 and 8, we can go up to strings 4 and 5, and it's a whole different thing. So we'll put this in the song. We have a couple of times when we can play this thing. We're going to go back to track number 1, and they'll all be E fills to give us a chance to play these. Fill or exercise number 2, the basic exercise number 2, starts down on 3 with the A and the F lever. Up to 7A. Actually, it's 7A and B. You don't actually have to have the B pedal down, but it's natural. Up to 8A and F. To 12A and B. And all we're using is E positions and A positions all the way through. Here's the E to A. So we've got 2 phrases. You want to sit here and practice these a minute so that you can hear them in your head. You don't want to have to read them. Learn this fill. Number 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice them on strings 4 and 5 because it sounds different. It'll scare you if you're not ready for it. 1, 2, 3. Number 1. Number 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, you can milk the pedals. There's a lot of ways to interpret these notes. Do it your way, but make sure you get the phrasing. Now, if we take these 2 basic exercises and we put it in with rhythm track number 1, we're right back to the beginning of the audio tape there. Go to the next page there, which gives you, actually, it's just the chord progression for the rhythm track number 1. But notice, we're saying these are going to be in relationship to a chord progression. So this is just an example. This is not the only way you could do it by any means. Showing along with this chord progression, we're going to play, assuming there's a singer, on 12, 4 beats, down to 7A and B for 4 beats, and then we want to play this fill we learned. So line 1 there should sound like this. In with the rhythm track. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and go. And then we come to the second line. Well, it goes to a 5 chord. That's how the rhythm track goes. We'll go up to 10A and F. Back to 8A and F because it's the 5/7 or B7. And here comes the end of the line where the fills always come anyway, and we'll play fill number 2. So we're building ideas here. We're thinking chords behind the singer, and then we're using those chords, but we're actually playing scales now. We're playing fills, but we're using the same exact ideas using the A and D F lever. So here's the top 2 lines right in a row, and in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Next line. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now, the rest of this rhythm track goes on, and as we have it there in the chord chart, look at the 3rd line. It says go to fill number 3. Well, let's don't quite do that yet. If you're not real sure how this little phrase works, you better get your act together because you won't remember how number 1 goes if you're working on too many. And from experience with students, I found out real fast, remembering 4 of them, and we've got 2 more coming up here on the next page. If you're way advanced and you think you can remember them all, you might go ahead. But if you're struggling with the first 2, and if you can't remember exactly how they sound, then you're going to have a problem with this because you've got to hear it in your head. If you can't hum this, and if you can't hear it in your head before you're going to play it, you're going to fail. If you don't hear the second one, you're going to fail because you have to know where it is and be able to hear it and hear it coming. And when you finally play it, it's like an echo. So, just for a good exercise, take track number 1 and look at this chord chart. Play just the first 2 lines over and over and over again. Forget the second 2 lines. They're just repetitious anyway. Here we go. Here's the idea of it. And I'm going to use strings 5 and 8 for several. One time for 8 measures, I'll use strings 5 and 8. The next 2, I'll do it up on strings 4 and 5 so you can hear that. Here we go, along with track 1. Sorry about that. Now the fill. Five chords. Now number 2. Back to the top. Fill number 1. Second line. Fill number 2. Strings 4 and 5 maybe. Number 1. The 5 chord. Number 2. Maybe 5 and 8 again. Number 1. 5. Fill number 2. Change strings, 4 and 5. Fill number 1. The 5. Number 2. Five and 8 string. Play the fill. The 5 chord. Fill number 2. Well, that'll work you, just trying to learn the fills. Remember, as you're practicing them, you're trying to get them in your head as well as into the mechanical part of the just delivering it. So you have to hear it, and you have to be able to feel it. You want to get where you can play these fills without having to think too much about it. Go to the next page now to the basic exercise number 3 and number 4, the building fills section there. And we're going to do some more of this same idea to give you a repertoire of how you can build some pretty good licks here. And there again, you can interpret these a lot of ways. These are just fundamental ideas. Number 3 sounds like this. Back to 10A and F. We're just using E to A. 10A and F is a B, isn't it? Going to a B seventh. This is all against an E chord, by the way. Back to 8A and F. That's an A chord to 7A and B. So in time, this sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of ways you can play that. Exercise number 4. Same idea for a start. We're going to use the upper half of the fretboard. So far, we're going to be all over this thing, getting you to move and use the complete guitar. So we start with an E on 12, go up to an E on 15A and F, isn't it? Back to 14A and B. What is it? You ought to know. It's a 5 chord, B. 17A. What do you suppose that is? 17A has a name. My goodness, it's a 5/7. It's the same as 5A was. And back to 15A and F. Could because it ends and resolves on an E. So here's number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, number 1 again is 1. I'm sorry, number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 from the previous page, all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2 was 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 3 was 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4 was 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think? Could you play them and remember them? I'll bet 99% of you will struggle with it because you have to learn to hear the melodies. It's like learning any song, learning the words, learning to play it. But the way to do this, let's take it a piece at a time. You took exercise number 1 and number 2 and played it along with rhythm track number 1. So take the same idea, but ignore exercise number 1 and 2. Let's take 3 and 4 and do them. And let's just do it from the last part. Let's learn it like we might really do it along with the rhythm track. The last 2 lines of the chord chart, which says on the chord chart, if you look back over there, the 3rd line starts with 3A and F for the 1 chord, and then up to 7A and B. Now, here's where we want to put fill number 3, and it goes. And then the last line of the chord chart goes down to 2A and B for the 5, up to 5A for the B7th, and now fill number 4, or exercise number 4. So here's what our exercise probably is going to end up sounding like. We're just going to repeat this over and over again along with track 1. So it's the last 2 lines of the last 8 measures of the chord chart. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Last line. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now it's going to have to get some coordination in there, isn't it? You're going to have to be able to play these fills without thinking too much about it. So probably you don't want to just jump right in with a rhythm track. Spend some time with this basic exercise number 3 and number 4, and we should come out with this. Start. Last line. 5 chord. Fill number 4. Maybe change strings. Strings 4 and 5. Number 3. Last fill. Change strings again. Fill number 3. Cheated on you, didn't I? And the last fill, number 4. Oh, I like this stuff. Number 3. Fill number 4. Maybe change strings. Fill number 3. Now, I must admit, I got beside myself. I like these fills. They're great ideas. They're fundamentals. There's many, many ways you can take these fills. They're not just played as written. My goodness, you can improvise, change the phrasing, change the picking pattern, a little bit of everything, and you're going to be amazed at what you can get out of this. Again, this is all about learning basic reflexes. You can't think about it. You're going to have to do it and do it and do it until you can hear it, and it becomes natural for your body to move through this A and B and the A and the F.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
In the twilight glow I see her, blue eyes crying in the rain. As we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, only memories remain. Through the ages I'll remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Now my hair has turned to silver. All my life I've loved in vain, and through the ages I'll remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday when we meet up yonder, we'll stroll hand in hand again in a land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in the rain.
We've got just a minute here before we have to go to another tape. A little pop quiz real quick. We've got a song in the key of C. Where are all the C chords, left to right? Quickly, can you name them? C chords from the bottom up. C's on 1 with the D lever. 3 with the A and B. 8 with no pedals. Right in order now. 11, A and F. 13 with the D lever. 15 with the A and B. Another one, real quick. D chord. D, dog. Where's the first one? To the left, from the bottom, and working up to the right. 1, A and F. 3 with the D lever. 5, A and B. 10 with no pedals. 13, A and F. 15 with the D lever. 17, A and B. Quite a lot of them, aren't there? That's what you want to learn to think, just like that. One other one, real quick. F chord. All of the Fs now, from the left to the right. 1. What's next? 4A and F. 6 with the D lever. 8, A and B. All the way, 5 frets up. 13. 16, A and F. You gotta know them.
One, two, three, four.
In the twilight glow I see her, blue eyes crying in the rain, as we kissed goodbye and parted. I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, only memories remain. Through the ages I'll remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Now my hair has turned to silver. All my life I've loved in vain, and through the ages I'll remember. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday when we meet up yonder, we'll stroll hand in hand again in a land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in